Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey, and that is the 3-row all-electric Kia EV9. That's right, a 3-row vehicle with a plug from Kia. And in this video, I'm going to take you on a quick tour of this beautiful blue GT-Line.
Here it is. Making its North American debut, the all-new 2024 Kia EV9.
Yes, Gearheads, this is the first 3-row fully electric product from Kia. You know, we've driven the EV6. This is the EV9, therefore bigger number, bigger vehicle. And we'll just come in close to this one. This is a beautiful version of it in blue. This is the GT-Line version. This is the more performance-ready version. While I'm up front here, there is no engine under the hood because, again, it's fully electric. What is interesting, you do get a little bit of front trunk storage. So when we think Kia EV6, there's that almost pathetic level of underhood storage. This one actually gets a front trunk, and hopefully I can get the hood open to show you that here in a little bit. But we're talking power. This one is a dual motor making 379 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. And despite its boxy shape and boxy looks, they say the drag coefficient on this is better than a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. I know that they've really been targeting Lamborghini and Ferrari with their marketing of the Kia EV6 GT. So yeah, very interesting that they evoke those brands yet again here with the Kia EV9 3-row electric SUV. But while we're up front here, I want to talk about the styling of this one. This one has the welcome lighting package, the dynamic lighting package on it. So you can see we have full LED running lights, full LED headlights, and those interesting look lights here in the grille are customizable and can do a welcome animation when you come up to it. Very cool stuff here from Kia. Coming around to the side, you will see the very Telluride-like proportions of this. It is slightly bigger than the Telluride, and that is a good thing. One of the interesting and unique things about electric vehicle platforms, this being built on a version of that eGMP platform that underpins the Hyundai Ioniq, the Kia EV6, is you can really push the wheels out to the corners, which they did on this, and increase interior occupant space. And when we get inside, you'll absolutely see that. So it is roomier inside than a Telluride. Looks very much like a Telluride on the outside. And while we're over here on the side of it, checking out the exterior, I will say that this does have 7.8 inches of ground clearance. So you can do some SUV-like things in this as well. Take it on a camping adventure out in the woods. And Kia really did lean in heavy to the ruggedness of it with the sculpted, sharp lines on the body sides of this and these black wheel arches that are very visually heavy here on the side. Before I get too far around to the back, I do want to call out these very interesting wheels. Kia's been doing a unique thing with their wheel design as of late, and these are GT-Line specific 21-inch wheels. They are wrapped in 285/45 R21 Hankook rubber. These are Ion Evo AS tires. Very interesting. Haven't seen these yet. I know that the brand has been leaning into some very quiet, very efficient tires as of late. So it'll be interesting to see how these perform out on the road. Coming around to the back, emphasizing the size of this one. Very unique LED taillights on the pillars, on the sides, showing off that wider stance over the hips. Very cool look here. And then of course you get Kia's new corporate logo on the back, their new EV9 badging, very similar to the EV6. And this being the GT line, gets a GT line badge. Let's go ahead and pop open the hatch, because this one does have a lot of usable space. So being a 3-row with that 3rd row up, you are limited a little bit on your cargo space back here in the back, but you do have a false load floor with a little bit of storage underneath. You see tire sealer here, so I'm doubting there's a spare tire in this one. These are manually folding 3rd row seats, so you can see just from this latch here that you pull it and let it go forward, and that is how you fold down the 3rd row seats. Sorry, I had to step over a partition to actually get those down. So a lot of very usable space here when you've got the 3rd row down. And Kia claims a very large, very spacious, I'm looking for the number on my notes right now, over 80 cubic feet of storage space behind the 1st row of seats. So when you fold all the 1st and 2nd row seats down, you just get a massive cavernous over 80 cubic feet of space behind the front row of seats. And then we'll go ahead and get this in place because I'm about to go hop inside. We'll close the power hatch and check out the interior of this one. They did emphasize the door handles on this. When the vehicle is locked, they are flush, so they actually go into the body side. So unlike the Kia EV6, which is kind of like a little wing of a door handle when it's exposed, these are more like a Mercedes-Benz S-Class in that they are a whole unit that you pull out just like that. They're very interesting. And then, oh my goodness, the premium comfort of the interior on this one. I absolutely love the two-tone use of colors here on the seats, the interesting use of materials. This headrest is very unique as well. It's not padded, but it's a mesh stretched over the hard plastic shell of this one. So very interesting there. Kia is leaning into sustainable use materials. So this is a non-leather interior, but they call it a premium non-leather interior. So very interesting there. We'll go ahead and start over here on the door. So you get window controls here, express all the way around. You would expect that. Your lock, unlock, your child lock, your mirror controls, you can power fold those mirrors in. But I want to call your attention to this panel right here. So we have heated, ventilated seats that do have 2-person memory. You have a heated steering wheel, and you have a lounge mode. So you can see right here, there is a leg rest that pops out for maybe when you are stopped charging this vehicle, which really won't be long because Kia does claim a DC fast charge of 10 to 80% in right at 25 minutes. So much like the EV6, 10 to 80 in 18 minutes. This obviously has a little bit bigger battery, so it'll take a little bit longer to charge. Let's go ahead and hop into this one and out of the noise from out there. The sunroof is open, so we're still getting a little exterior noise from the booth here. But you can see dual digital screens up front here. and fully digital gauge cluster, like that a lot. Unique steering wheel here, updated look for the Kia brand. You get all your driver assistance stuff on it, all the different ways you can interact and customize the screen up here in front of you. Over to the left, we've got the hood open button right here. We've got the hatch open button, traction control, your brightness, your fuel door or your charge door opening right here. And then, unfortunately, Kia is leaning out of using a lot of buttons and tactile switches and knobs. So we get a lot of haptic interface here, and these only light up when they're needed to be, when you're on the screen that relates to them. But we do still get a volume roller here, so at least there's that. Your climate controls, you do get a few tactile buttons there for that as well. You get USB-C charge ports up there, and then a floating style center console. I like it. There's a lot of storage down here, a lot of storage right here. So Kia's been doing this with their cup holders lately, where if you don't need a cup holder, you have just an open space, but you can push these buttons here and instantly have a cup holder right there. A few more drive buttons here, auto hold for when you're at stoplights, downhill descent control, your camera button. I love when automakers put a dedicated camera button so you can quickly access the 360 cameras through the interface here. So it does have a digital rear view mirror, but the vehicle's not on, so I can't show you that right now. And then we have a Qi wireless charger with NFC. I'm pretty sure that NFC is going to be for Android devices, but it's more than likely a quick way to connect your phone to the vehicle without having to plug in wires. I hope that Kia brings us wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto when this comes to market. That is something that they've been lacking in their top line premium products. And then we've got more interesting materials here. They, like I said, use a lot of recycled, sustainable materials in here. So we've got a little bit of a cloth here. It's also repeated on the door panels, so that's very nice. And then the design in here does evoke a lot of Telluride. It's very big, it's very wide, it's very spacious. I like it a lot. Again, we talked about these two-tone seats. Now sitting in them, I can say they're comfortable. The headrest, same thing. And then you can adjust the passenger seat here from the side. So if you are chauffeuring someone around in the back, you can adjust that very easily as the driver, or even lean forward from back there as the passenger. Sitting out front here, I've got plenty of room thanks to the boxy shape. I can find a very good driving position in this one, no problem whatsoever. One last thing I want to call attention to before moving to the second and third row is the steering wheel. We've got paddles for the regenerative braking, and then a very Hyundai Ioniq 5, Ioniq 6 style gear drive selector right here. So park, drive, neutral, all that is accessed right here. But let's pop out of the front and we will move to the second and third row of seats here in the EV9. Again, this is a family vehicle, but it is also a very luxurious vehicle. So we get touches like a manual sunshade back here on the back windows. You do get heated and ventilated second row captain's chairs, automatic windows, and then all your seat controls. You do get power seats back here in the back, so that is a very nice touch as well. This does have a lounge mode back here, and if you want to get into the third row of seats, it does power fold and move forward for you, but I'm not going to do that just yet because I want to get in this second row and show you what it's like sitting behind myself. So I'll go ahead and move in, sitting behind myself at 5'10", very comfortable, very roomy. I really like that sunshade a lot. And then we get roof mounted vents in this one with roof mounted controls for the tri-zone climate control. I like that a whole lot. We get a single skylight above the driver, so a typical standard sunroof up there, but a fixed in place skylight over the second row of passengers, letting in a little bit more light back here. And since it is a little darker in here, you can see some of the ambient lighting that is echoed from the front. There's some around the gauge cluster up there. Really like the use of ambient light back here. We do get hard plastic seat backs up on the backs of the front seat with map pockets on the back of both front seats, two cup holders right here. We do get USB-C ports for rear seat passengers on the backs of the front seats there. And then Kia showed off this extendable center console here for rear seat passengers. So let's see, you can open it up and access some storage in there, and then you can pull it out as a tray table right there. So very nice and nifty use right there. This is going to be a very comfortable road trip vehicle, but let's get out and we will go ahead and we'll push this button right here, because that's the one you're going to be accessing if you're riding back in the third row. And that will flip and fold this seat forward. So you can see this isn't very child seat friendly. If you did have a child seat in place, you're going to have a little bit of a problem with that seat here folding like that. It's not going to move out of the way with a child seat in it. But moving into the 50-50 split two-person third row seat, I can say it's nice. It's a little cramped, but my knees are not under my chin because there is a big flat load floor in this one. And it is a little narrow, so I'm sitting right next to the wheel arches, wheel wells, which is where we've got some cup holders, USB-C port right here. I do still get an air vent right here above my head, so I'm not completely forgotten about back here. I get power, I get air, so I can ride very nicely. But I'm gonna push the button on the seat here and see what this one does. As it comes back to me, I will note there is a top tether on the back of both of these seats here in the second row, and oh, it's about to crush me. Yep, it's coming back. It's pretty close. So I would definitely have to negotiate with the person riding in the seat if I were to be riding back here in the third row. A little disappointing in what is really supposed to be a very comfortable three-row vehicle. Again, with the wheels pushed out to the corners like you can do in electric vehicles. A little disappointing that this third row is a little too cramped in my opinion. There are some other gas-powered vehicles that definitely give you some more room. As this moves forward, I'm going to climb out and see if we can't show you what is under that front under the hood for that front trunk here. So let's see, we'll push that twice. Does it open? No, it doesn't open. There is an old school latch right here. I wasn't able to get that to work earlier, so we'll just leave it at that. That is our quick tour of the new Kia EV9. This is the GT-Line version. There is a white one over there that is not, but I am very interested in this vehicle. It will be built in Georgia starting in 2024, which means Kia is leaning into the new EV tax credits, and you should be able to get that with this Kia EV9. We will have more details on this one very soon. Absolutely go check out our website where I have more facts and figures than I can remember off the top of my head while filming this one. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Everything is at GT Garage Talk. You hit that subscribe, follow button down below, like, comment, do all the things to let the algorithms know to show you more content from us, because we are at the 2023 New York International Auto Show. This is not the only vehicle we had to check out. There is a whole lot more coming. But until next time, gearheads, bye. This video is brought to you by Electron EV chargers. Electron supplied us with this 48 amp in-home charger. This V-Box can be installed indoors or outdoors, hardwired or plugged in to a NEMA 1450 plug, and even comes with a J-hook and an adapter to store your J1772 plug when it's not currently in use. This thing has been an absolute dream for charging many of our press vehicles here on the channel, and we've absolutely loved it. You can help us out and help them out while helping yourself out by checking the link down in the description below and getting one for yourself. And then this vehicle,